Alan Watts would say about clearing murky water. The best way to clear it is to leave it alone. Instead of finding and searching, it's discovering. Welcome back, y'all, to another reflection on the Daily Vedantic. Dat TDV. And today's reflection comes from a question that came up recently in one of our VVC, Venice Vedanta Club hangs, where afterwards, one of the friends in the group was talking about the impatience that they feel to understand, and patience, which, as we've noted before in previous episodes, it comes from the Latin pati, which means to suffer. So we should expect patience to feel like suffering much of the time. But there is so much value in that suffering, in that waiting. Because it isn't just an irrelevant annoyance, part of the process, but it's one of the most valuable weights in the gym of spiritual development, is that patience. So much of our impatience comes from the very thing we're trying to rise above, egoistic desire. In fact, all of our impatience comes from that egoistic desire. Desire, as we know, and stress is just unfulfilled desire. So that impatience, that agitation, that suffering, it is one of the greatest lessons that you get to stare at each day. In the 3-year course, which links down below for anyone that wants to sign up for Swamiji's 3-year course, this whole project there's no revenue generation from this. There's no charging for it. It's just lectures for free. The e-learning that I talk about so often, the link that in the show notes that is there is for the ashram. It's just for people that want to sign up for the 3-year course on their own. And this entire project is just a billboard for that. An on-ramp for people to get 12, 13 episodes of Daily Vedantic in their system. They're like, all right, I'm ready for the real thing. That is what success looks like, is you not listening to me anymore and moving on to the real thing. And a big part of the 3-year course is one of Swami's books of select English poems. So it's a bunch of brilliant, world famous English poems, but with a really interesting spiritual dissection. And the poets, well, it's no coincidence that some of the best poetry is really just philosophy, masked with beautiful, beautiful language and metaphor. One of the poems is On His Blindness by John Milton. The last line, which is a world famous line, but from the spiritual sense and with Vedantic dissection, it hits on the value of patience so well. And it's one of the last lines from the sonnet, which is, they also serve who only stand and wait. They also serve who stand and wait. So much of our impatience in any progression in life is this immense fear of stillness. When we've chatted about the anatomy of fear as a desire to hold on to what we have, when we have this fear of stillness, we fear we're going to lose something. Lose momentum. Lose our temporary stability. This whole philosophy says over and over again that your natural state is peace, happiness, bliss, self-sufficiency. It is the illusion that it's out there, that any of those are out there. That is the illusion. Heavily fortified by the average American sees 2,800 advertisements a day. So heavily fortified by the diet of information our modern society gives us. Telling us it's out there, or our insecurity, potential insecurity, might be right around the corner. And this philosophy says over and over again that your natural and eternal state is peace. Sat Chit Ananda. Existence, consciousness, bliss. Our impatience, our agitation, our fear, that we do feel that deep down. We feel this sense of peace, but we're so scared that it's going to leave us. Because, like I said, no matter what your mental fortitude is, if you're told 2,800 times a day that it might leave you, you start to believe that illusion, and you start to create the circumstances in which it does seem to elude you. As Rumi said, that which you are seeking is seeking you. It's there, and it's been there the whole time, and it's not going anywhere. So in this concept of they also serve, who stand and wait, it's not just waiting and stillness because something's going to come on the other side of that discipline. It's not waiting in stillness to find something. It's waiting in stillness, which our modern society does not tell us that just stillness is the key. It certainly doesn't tell us you have everything you need within you. But nearly every timeless philosophy does. But just in our own defense, it's high contrast to the worldly messages we receive each day. But what's fascinating about the stillness and serving by standing and waiting. So it's not just the method to get the progress, the spiritual evolution that we're seeking so much of the time. It's not through consuming more information, listening to another one of these episodes, reading another text or commentary or Upanishad. It's not through doing more, but a stillness, a standing, and a waiting. What's so beautiful about that as part of the practice is it's like Alan Watts would say about clearing murky water. The best way to clear it is to leave it alone. Instead of finding and searching, it's discovering. Sitting still enough to where the cover discovers itself. The illusion evaporates. The mirage disappears. Stillness. One of the great ways that we can serve, acutely perhaps for the community around us, but also perennially for ourselves and our community, is cultivating, loving, looking forward to that wait in the gym, moments and opportunities for patience. Those also serve who stand and wait. You won't find that notion in an American Western, probably not even in many Eastern coffee shops, where it's all about doing, doing, doing. But there's a reason we call it supreme being, not supreme doing. That's today's reflection on the Daily Vedantic. We'll see you next time.